Welcome to Fuel. Fuel stands for Finance, Unity, Empowerment, Legacy. Join Dr. Jackie, Dennis, and Mac as they continue their conversation in part 2 of Survival of the Fittest.
I'm sure one day I'll figure it out and I'll be nicer to iPhone users. I know some people get it with their Verizon plan and they just got to take it. That's also a part of the plan.
Yeah.
Force you to use it. Then they can't switch back because all I got to do is pull the chip out, put a new chip in, and I got a new phone. And I don't know that you can't do that with this phone. So I said, really? That's a benefit. So look, Dr. Jackie is here, and before she fades out on us,
Right.
maybe she can talk for a minute, to bring some levity to our situation.
Well, I'm not sure what your situation is.
We just finished talking about iPhone. And people who are afraid to invest $300, but they got a $1,200 iPhone.
So, you know what? I think it's mindset, something that we've talked about, and that people, when they get things in their mind, they're going to stick to it regardless. Like my last phone was an iPhone, and my next phone will be an iPhone. So, I think that we hold on to things, and what did you say, Dennis? It's about their fear. So you hold on. It becomes like a security blanket. So we talk to them about things that are logical, that it makes sense. Explain to me why you stay with one thing versus another. And when you really listen, it's just a fear and uncertainty. And we have a tendency to do that. So whether it's an iPhone or it's the fact that my uncle told me about this, and though it doesn't make sense, and though I've already lost money in it, I'm gonna do it because he's my uncle. It is kind of that thing we call human nature. And because we always say to each other, why is it that somebody standing in the grocery store can mention to someone else that they're doing this type of investment, and a person who overhears it starts a conversation and gets involved, while there's somebody else that you start a conversation, talk to them and explain, and they come to meetings and they still have fear? What is that? So if that part is what is not explained, you can't really give a reason why. But it is one of the reasons why we come on the show, because we want to help educate and maybe help allay some of the fears that people have. Because the more information you have, the more reason you can see to do one thing versus another.
Yeah, I just want to do a sidebar real quick. I say iPhone, but I also mean those $900 Galaxy phones, Android phones. So I'm just using iPhone because I know they cost a lot, but there are some Android phones that cost a lot too. So I saw a gaming phone for $2,400 to play a game. So please don't take it personal. We're talking about anything that keeps you from investing in your future. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we owe an apology at all. I mean, if you're here because you're trying to understand finance, unity, empowerment, and legacy, then this is the kind of conversation you're gonna get.
Well, that's true. I was just saying that there are other phones that are expensive.
Yeah.
If I know people who do podcasts. More power to you. Use whatever device you need to use. But I can do a podcast with my phone. So that's why I don't get it. And my phone costs $350 because I break phones a lot. So I got what's called what do you call these phones? They're supposed to be unbreakable. All metal, the Gorilla Glass 18. Because I break phones, those little skinny phones in my hands are like useless. So this phone is thick and heavy, and I almost had it for almost 2 years now, and I done dropped it so many times. And it's a 128 with a 128 chip in it. So it's a long time before I really need one, other than if 5G is worth getting.
Yeah, right, right.
So
You know, just to play the other side of that statement that you made, Dennis. A lot of podcasters. I'll just keep it in the podcast realm for now. They'll say that for monetizing purposes, um, the clearer that you can get that image, the more quote professional you can get that content, the more people will be gravitating to your page or to your channel or what have you. That's all, speculative, because I watch a lot of podcasts because I'm still trying to learn that craft. And I've seen everybody from those who have high tech studios to people walking around with a phone in their hand. And, like to your point, they make it happen. So for me, I kind of fall into the camp that, hey, if you have that $1,200 iPhone or $900 super Android phone or what have you, or anything, we're talking phones, but it could be anything. If it works and is profitable for you, other than just playing around and just entertainment only purposes, if it actually is a moneymaker, then do your thing. But if all you're doing is so that your TikTok looks better or whatever your FaceTime is clearer, then I think you could do a lot better with your money. My opinion.
wow, we got to do a whole show on TikTok
I know.
because TikTok scares me, man. I've seen some videos, but lately it's been our black content creators getting paid. So I'm like, ooh, here we go again. So, but we'll talk about that some other time.
Yeah.
It seems that people are monetizing other people's content, and the originator's not getting paid again. Here we
Again.
go. First it was music. Well, it's still music. Poor Chuck Berry and all them guys got ripped off by people that some of y'all love.
I think about even going back to Robert Johnson, Big Mama Thornton.
Wow, yeah.
It's a lot of them.
It's too many. And people say, well, don't complain, blah, blah, blah. But, if the originator doesn't get paid, because you ain't nothing but a hound dog, stealing all the time.
And that's Big Mama Thornton.
I was trying to remember the song.
Who made the money off of it?
Dancing like a Negro, singing a song produced by a Negro, and he's the king.
Yes.
I admit, I did like Elvis Presley movies, so I'm not going to take that away from him. But we see it so much in our communities, from minstrel shows to the Bee Gees to Elvis to Cadillac Records to you just get tired of it. So that's why I said we had to do a TikTok some other time.
Yeah, I mean, again, we've known about that for such a long time, and here in 2021, we still fall for the okie doke of.
It's funny. I'm glad you said 2021. I'm sorry for interrupting you. I think
okay.
It's year 6,000 in China. 6,000 something.
I got you.
I was watching this show and they said the pyramids are 5,000 years old. And then this construction guy said, we can't even move those blocks. And if we took each block off, just one pyramid, if we took one block off a day, it would take 35,000 years to take that one pyramid apart. And there are hundreds of pyramids in Africa and India and South America. So I'm sitting here. What what is the real date? I don't think they know.
Well, I don't think anybody knows because, if you just even go back for those of us in the Christian realm like myself, you know, a day to God.
You see how you did that, Jack?
Yeah.
Hi, Christians. We don't know
Yes,
what the date is
yes.
either.
I got a brand, baby. I got a brand. But look, but to the point, because I'm actually agreeing with you because a day to God is not based on the Roman calendar day.
Right. Roman
Okay.
Greco calendar. So we got
Right.
the Aztec calendar, the Chinese calendar, the Dogon's calendar.
Right.
And the Dogons knew about planets that they just learned about in the 1930s. I say they, I mean the Europeans.
Yeah.
So how old is this place? They keep throwing numbers up at you like they're experts, and this rock is over 6 billion years old. Really? Compared to what?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I get turned off a lot by when they do that. When they present themselves as experts. And I was in a business where I was I worked on electronic and electrical things, and people would come to me as experts, and I would look at them like, that's not true. I went to school for electrical engineering. I don't know everything, but I know what you just said was not true. I was like, when you said the year 2000, whatever, I was like, yeah, but the Chinese say it's a 6,000. I think I go with them first before the Roman Greco fools. Because they done lied so much throughout history. When I was in Spain, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona, them folks think Christopher Columbus discovered America. I'm not going to go over the rest of the places I've been.
I know.
Because it's going to just end up being a fight. Because people talk from what they don't know like they really know, but they don't know. I don't know. But I'm trying to learn. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, just to kind of bring it back into how we originated this conversation, though. The fact of the matter is that people don't know. The reason that they don't know is because they don't have the financial access to actually be able to go to places outside of the United States. And actually, you and I and Dr. Jackie, we can never keep her virtual.
She's busy.
Yeah, she's just a shadow in and out.
But we know she's here.
We know you're there. There you go. We see you.
It's the internet, and I don't want to mess up, so I thought I would just take myself out. So
it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But but to your point, Dennis, it's like nobody can even really do some investigative research on their own because they're trusting in books instead of like you and I and Dr. Jackie, who have actually been to places that can give you a true historical account of things that have happened in society because we've been privileged to travel.
I got one for you, and I need you to check. I need anybody that's on this line to check to see how true this is. Central Park, New York, used to be a black town. They killed, murdered.
And where now?
Central Park in New York. They killed, murdered, and flooded the town. And there's a map of the United States of all the black towns that they flooded, killed, murdered the black folks, and kicked them out.
Oh, wow.
And when I saw the list and I saw Central Park, I was like, ooh, here we go again. So there's a lot of history that we need to know Christopher Columbus, and we might never get to know. You know, I've been to King Herod's temple, and I've been to the Dead Sea, and I've been to the River Jordan. And there's no way, even back then, they could have mistaken that thing for a sea. But then again, you know, we're traveling by cars and they're traveling by carts. So if you look at it, it probably took a long time to do those journeys, especially across those rocks and those mountains and that desert. And if you spin it, gets spent around a couple times. But I wish there was somebody that we could trust to give us the real history, because they say history is only his story. I wish there was someone, because I'm really disappointed in all my college and high school history teachers that told me that Columbus story. That told me, gosh, as you get older and you start reaching out, you start finding out that money ain't even real. You know, fiat money. Anybody know where fiat came from? Julius Caesar.
You know, people were commodities, you know, so, you know, we've been building on that same foundation ever since. So for our audience, it's about how to maneuver this system that we are operating in to make it work for you and not for them.
Right.
That's we would call that playing the game, but playing the game to win.
Or playing the cards that are dealt to you.
That's exactly it. And you know, our people, and when I say our people, I'm really talking on a financial level, that meaning people that need to have a better understanding of finance. Our people need to be engaged in this understanding of the system, and that the system, as they promote it in commercials and in social media, is never and will never be designed for you to be victorious. So you better come onto radical programs like ours, Fuel, and hear the truth.
I think that if we don't start telling our children the truth, they will only believe they can be football players, basketball players. They don't know they came from kings and queens. Rappers, you know, I like rappers because rappers are like griots. But you don't have
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm saying that there's a broad field out there for all of our children, our legacy. I'm not, you know, I don't want
we are the
them to be
keepers. Yeah.
pigeonholed into.
And even those rappers, our griots, they still need to understand that as long as they have to answer to the man, they're not free.
They're not free.
Yeah.
Well, I think you watch like Master P, and he talks about the very same subject. Very deep. I didn't know he was that deep, so I started researching Chris
Yeah, he owns his stuff.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
Prince
Like
found
Prince.
out. Yeah. And Michael found out, Prince found out that everybody else got a monkey on their backs.
Right.
I remember that whole, Left Eye. You know, remember Left Eye from
from TLC.
TLC, when she said, "We are flat broke." That was deep, because I'm a musician, and I guess we're all musicians, and we've seen it. I've seen it before. I've seen people try to pay me in beer can. Beer, I can't spin no darn beer can.
Right.
We're always being. So I just think that as keepers of the legacy, which is the last letter in our fuel moniker, that we have to figure out a way to get the truth out there before it gets buried. Before you think that Elizabeth Taylor looked like Cleopatra. Not. Before you think Alexander was great. He was not. You know, while you get taught this stuff is for your own gratification of your skin tone. And I'm sorry, they were not. And the more you realize, well, one thing that Max said, I agree, is that we're all in this together, whether you're black, white, yellow, pink, or orange. It's really all of us against the elites.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the ones that are playing these mind games with Christopher Columbus and the Jews in Israel. I've been to Israel, and they are trying to kill the Jews that were from Africa. Mussolini was trying to kill the Jews in Africa, while Hitler was killing the people in Ashkenazi Jews in Germany. So there's a lot out there to try to keep us angry at each other.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, fear sells.
Yes, it does.
Yes. And fear conditions. And,
heck yeah.
And that's, I think that's what we're really talking about here, because I'm glad that we're delving into the cultural aspect, even the racial aspect of these things. But man, you said it, Dennis. We're really dealing with the elite versus the oppressed. That's the real fight.
They don't want to lose their power.
Exactly.
I understand it. Power corrupts.
Right.
Power corrupts always.
Right.
Ultimate power.
so the elite will allow for a few of, let's just say, minorities, or let me not use minorities, because we're not minorities. But
no, we're actually the majority in the world.
Right. So for the peoples of color to have some comeuppance, but it's still conditioned that they can only get to a certain point. And what you will find out, that those who challenge that, and you mentioned some in the entertainment world, such as Michael Jackson or Prince, there are a lot of them. When they challenge it, I think that even on the religious side of things, when people challenge the status quo, that's when persecution and oppression come into play. And that's why they have to eliminate you by any means necessary, in the truest form of that phrase. So when we're dealing with finance, we need to understand that finance, money, is at the core of all of this. So the more power that you can have with your money and not falling into the traps of the system, the better off you and your family are going to be.
Great closing words. Thank you.
All right. So on behalf of Dr. Jackie, on behalf of Dennis and myself, this is another wonderful edition of Fuel, and we'll see you the next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our conversation on survival of the fittest. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Fueling Future Generations, and reach out to us directly at fuelingfuturegenerations2020@gmail.com. We've enjoyed being with you today, and have a great day.